We feel very good about where the United States is.
President Biden has been very decisive in his leadership, beginning with the American Rescue Plan. We rescued the economy.
By any metric, with the exception of inflation, this country has moved forward.
Well, Democrats are applauding President Biden's leadership despite his suffering poll numbers. Over half of Americans say his policies are hurting the economy.
How to react, Joe? These Democrats that we just heard wildly out of touch. And just moments ago, we heard the president, Joe Biden, talking about, I don't think we're going to have a recession. We're #1 in the world. We're doing great right now. We have a few problems, but everything is more or less fine. Is the reporting today on this going to be as out of touch as it has been all along, basically not in touch with what the average American is feeling?
Yeah, Todd, I love this. Every metric but inflation. What about the supply chain crisis, right, that has millions of moms and dads struggling to find baby formula? What about skyrocketing crime, the crisis that is a catastrophe at the border? I believe those are huge issues right now. And trust me, if inflation had quadrupled under the previous president, I'm pretty sure that we would be seeing the coverage being, let's just say, a little bit different and probably profoundly hostile. But that's where we are at this point in terms of this media. Not everybody completely, of course, but at the same time, let's face it. Things are not going well right now. There was one poll out recently that showed that nearly 8 in 10 Americans say the country is going in the wrong direction. Only a third of Democrats think the country is going in the right direction. So this could be spun all the ways you like in terms of coverage. The American people know what they're feeling, they know what they're seeing, and they don't like it, Todd.
Joe, I want to ask a immediate question. I mentioned in the opening block, it's been 100 days since Joe Biden sat down and did an actual at-length interview. And as we know, there are many outlets that the president could choose perhaps for a friendlier interview than if he would come on with me and Todd or Carly, which I would suggest President do. But assuming he doesn't do that, if he just sat down with someone to unpack some of these questions he's raising from the recession to his position on Taiwan, do you think it would help?
I don't know. It's a great question, to be honest with you, because, look, when you don't do an interview in 102 days, that shows that his handlers are petrified. He'll say things like he just said about defending Taiwan, for example, right? Because that requires a cleanup on aisle 5. Then again, Griff, it is an election year, and Democrats are facing a red tsunami in November if you look at poll after poll after poll. So you would think that the commander-in-chief would be sat down somewhere, anywhere, as you said, maybe somewhere friendly, that could at least give him a platform, right? Say what you will about Donald Trump as far as the way his presidency had gone, at least he never, ever ran from the press and always did interviews and would do press conferences sometimes for 90 minutes, 2 hours. So you just get the feeling that the president's handlers now at this point think that it's probably going to do more harm than good if he does an interview. And that's pretty scary when you consider that, again, this is a leader of this country. He should face questions and accountability, but they just don't want to put him out there for whatever reason.
That's a great point, Joe. I remember some 30-minute press conferences Donald Trump would hold literally at the departure of Marine One. Not the case anymore with Joe Biden. Correct. Joe Concha, thanks for kicking things off for us on this busy Monday morning. Joe, we'll see you soon.